I am Chad from Minecraft Frontiers, and today we are going through a short role-playing guide that I have written and posted on the wiki. I don't know if many of you have seen it yet, but this will be your chance. Now, I do want to begin with the fact that we are only days away from the prototype to release. I get that many of you are excited, but let's please go over the proper etiquette that must be applied when we're role-playing, because we don't want to ruin each other's time. Now, as you can see, it is a very short guide. Obviously, you only have, 3 little sections that you have to read that you have to remember. Now, the intro here just describes what role-playing really is, and if many of you are familiar with role-playing, kudos to you. For those who aren't, it is just you taking on another persona that you wish to be, that you've always wanted to be, or that you feel that you could be to develop yourself in some way. Obviously, it doesn't have to be as deep as that, but, who knows. Now, for your proper etiquette, nobody wants to see, what up mate, 420 blaze it memes. I get they're funny. I would personally very much enjoy having a character running around and saying these things, but it does ruin the atmosphere that we're trying to build. Now, regarding swear words, there is a very fine line for them. You can say some things, but not others. Some words that we have now will not be able to be applied on the server, and we can please just tone it down. You don't see people on the streets cursing each other out all that often, unless you live in New York. Now, the next one is greetings. Saying hello, hail, you've played the games. It's always in there, and it's very important to add to that atmosphere, to always greet. You can just say hi, you can nod your head with a little emote. It is up to you, but as long as you greet the other players to initiate the conversation, you're good. Now, the next one is your own personal dialect. It's very important to individualize your own character, but not so much that nobody can understand you. Now, that's to say, if you had your tongue cut out, different story. Now, if you had an old man, he would slur his words, he'd be very slow. If you had a drunk, then he would definitely slur his words more, be a little harder to understand, hiccup a few times, even throw up if you'd like. It's just how you want to build up your character. Even if you had an uptight, high-class, senatorial type, who knows, then you have to play that part. You have to be, or act, I should say, as better than everyone else. It may be mean, it may be rude, but that's the part that you're trying to play. Now, common sense, I cannot stress this enough. Common sense is when you have to be realistic with the fact that there are real physics in the game that you wouldn't have in real life. You can't simply just run and jump, a mile and say, I did it, I'm magic. It won't happen in the real world, so it should not happen in the server. You cannot take an arrow to your eye socket and just talk like it's a regular conversation. You cannot have your arm cut off and yet grow a new one. It's just common sense. Now, metagaming. Metagaming is where your character knows very little, yet you know more than your character. And because of that, you use it with your character. Your character may not be able to know that there was a siege halfway across the map, and yet you say that you do. You can't do that. It takes away from the immersion. You have to say, I got a letter, maybe a week later you realize, this actually happened, as it would in any other game or even show if you watch. My favorite is Game of Thrones. If you see closely, you can tell that the ravens that are sent to each of the different kingdoms, they take time. Not everybody is up to par with all the information. So act as that when you're playing, and please do not meta. Power gaming, another nasty concept. When you power game, it's when you don't want to die. Yes, you might have to die. Yes, we have systems in place where you don't really have to lose that character. But for the time being, we don't want you to just power your way through saying, I ran away. When you're in a fight, you can't just say, I ran away. The other person has a chance to run and chase you. They can stop you. They can hold your arm. You have to give the other person a chance to act. That is what happens in the real world, where you can't just run away and be safe. The other person's going to do something. They're going to react. Now, the most important thing about role-playing is to have fun. As you can see, I've written, and it's in bold. It's supposed to be in bold. It's always going to be in bold. And it's because it's the most important thing. If you're not having fun, why even roleplay? And again, if you die, who cares? If you lose an arm and leg, so what? Build your character with that. If you lose a leg, get a peg leg. If you lose an arm, get a wooden arm. I don't know what to tell you. But use it to make your own story. You are creating your very own live action novel. You love reading. This is the best thing for you because you are developing your own story. And the possibilities are endless. And it's not that you're only developing your one story. You're developing the one story that's going to be a part of a much bigger one that is our server, that is Elpida. And I can't stress it enough that I know everybody wants to be your big macho hero, but sometimes you can be a little farmer, a little serf, a little hooligan in the streets. Please do not all pick the same profession, the same character, the same everything. Be diverse, be you. It is so important, and I say it a lot. Individualism is where this server will shine, where you have your own story. And that is all I have to say. I can't wait to see you on the Prototype 2 release, and enjoy. This is Chad or Seaman64 from Minecraft Frontiers, signing out.